Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Live and Clicking with myself, Jack Revell. I'm super excited to be here this week because I'm going to be talking to you today about how you can create content in literally 20 minutes a day, right? Now, for those of you that have been on this live before and maybe heard me talking about this, you'll know my story of how I started doing video content super quickly, right? I was in a place where I was needing to show up more online. I didn't have a studio. I didn't have lights, cameras, and action going on. I didn't have any of that. All I had was literally a mobile phone and a good piece of bit of light and something to say. And what I did was I basically sat there on the end of my bed and I started recording video. Now, what I learned from that experience was sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. But what I've developed over the last couple of months and into the last few years is a one-click studio formula. Now, this one-click studio formula, right, is an ability for you to be able to actually just sit down in a space that you know works for you and create content like that super quickly, right? So like imagine this, imagine you're in a place where you've just seen something inspiring online, or you've got a really great idea that you know is going to really work with your customers. And you think to yourself, oh, I really want to make some content on that. I really want to film something. And you think, oh, I really want to do that. But then you stop yourself because you don't know how to set up your camera. You don't know what the best light is, or you don't know where you look best or what the background looks like. And you spend probably 15, 20 minutes even thinking about where you could go live or where you could record some video. And then you end up basically faffing around with moving things around, putting a tripod there and then thinking, oh, that's not right. And by the time you actually get round to sitting down to do it, you've spent over an hour and you've forgotten the inspiration that you had, and you're in this position where you're like, oh, I can't even bother to do this. And where are you then? You're nowhere. You've lost inspiration. You've got to this position where you can't be bothered to put it out there. Or you could be in a position where you know exactly where to sit, where the camera goes, and you can literally go click, go live, and you can get yourself being in a position where you are selling your product to your customers super quickly. Now, this method isn't impossible to set up. It doesn't cost you the earth either. I'm not being funny here. You can literally set this up with something as simple as a tripod, right? One of these things that you get on Amazon that are like £10, sometimes cheaper. I think Amazon Prime Day is coming up, so maybe you can get one online for a lot cheaper. But essentially what that is a tripod, okay? What you do is set yourself up in a place where you know that goes every single time. Okay. Now, there's a couple of rules to a one-click studio. When you get these rules right, it just takes the headache out of it. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to be understanding that you want to have a space that is neutral, right? So as you can see with my background, I've got some books and stuff that they're a bit neutral. No one gets offended by that. I've got this plant here, and I've got a very sort of neutral, clean background. Okay. You want the same sort of thing. You don't want wires hanging down from stuff. You don't want clutter. You don't want washing in the background. All the stuff that goes on in a normal home. Put it to one side. You don't need a big space. If I can show you my office right now, it's not that big, right? It's literally just a corner of a room, right? And all you need is that corner, okay? And you need to just be able to have something clean in the background that allows your customers or your potential clients to look at you, not look at whatever else is going on behind you, okay? So that's the first thing. Second thing is when you get yourself a tripod like this, right? Make sure that it's on a stable surface. I'm sure we've all been on Zoom calls in the past where, right, people they have their laptop and it's doing this, shaking around like no one's business on their knees. Oh, it's so frustrating because you just can't concentrate on what they're saying. And then on the flip side, you've got people that put their cameras right down underneath where it goes up their nose, like the classic cat, thing where the cat crawls across your webcam and you see up right up his nose. Don't do that. Or again, where it's like really high and it's looking down on you. Don't do it. All you can see is the top of their head, right? Don't do that. Have it at eye level, right? and have it so that it's right on your face, nowhere else. Okay, that's what you want. You want your head and your shoulders in the shot. Okay, now you can do this in two ways. You can either put a tripod like this on the floor, on some books, on a bookshelf, on a window ledge, whatever works for you. Okay, or you can take it one step further, and this is what I used in the very beginning. But you can get those, those when you have a TomTom or a sat nav, right? And they've got that suction pad on the bottom that sticks to the screen of your car. You can get the same thing, right? But for a phone, and just put it on a window in your house, right? And this is where you kill two birds with one stone, because also you don't need lights when you're doing video. You don't need lights. The best light you can get is right up there in the sky. It's the sun, okay? Natural light is the best light you're ever going to find, ever, right? So use it to your advantage. So the best thing to do is actually to get one of these and stick it in front of a window, or get one of the suction things on a window and have it so that it's eye line and you've just got your camera right there, okay? That's all you need, right? Honestly, background, lighting, and stability. That's it, okay? Everything else is just positioning yourself in the right place, right? So, that you move around, you put yourself, and you don't want to be sort of like all the way over here, or you don't want to be sort of all the way up here. You want to be nicely framed in the shot. And what I mean by that is having equal distance on each side and having your face and your head and shoulders in the shot, right? And more your head towards the top rather than towards the bottom, okay? You want to just make it look nice. And the thing is, you'll know when you get on the screen whether it looks nice or not, okay? Now, when it comes to actually recording video, okay, if you think about it, if you've got a place where it doesn't have to be set up all the time as well. People think, oh, I haven't got the place to keep my camera and my tripod. You don't have to have it out all the time. All you need to know is that you just have to have a spot where it goes. So let me give you an example, right? I used to do this literally from the end of my bed in my bedroom, and I used to know that my windowsill, right, was where my tripod would go. And for the first few times, what I did was I actually just got little pieces of sellotape, right, and I put my tripod on the windowsill, and then I just put a little bit of masking tape, just literally on the corners of where it should be, so I know that that's where it goes. So then it was literally simple. I don't have to worry about the positioning and all the rest of it. I'm like, oh, that goes there, camera goes on. Great, that's one thing sorted. The light was already there because I was doing it in front of a window. And then the last thing I had to do was just make sure my background didn't have any crap in it, basically. Simple. It's all you have to do. And within literally 30 seconds, you have got your camera ready to go. And all you got to do now is press go. That's it. Click and you are off, right? Now, the thing is, right, people know their business. People, everyone listening to this will know what their business is, who they serve, how they help people, right? And that's essentially the harder bit. That's the bit of like, oh, what do I say to my customers and that sort of stuff. When you know what you're going to say, as long as you've got a one-click studio, something that you can literally turn on and just start recording content, it means that you can have inspiration and record something in as little as 5 minutes. And once you've recorded 2, 3, 4, 5 different things, that could be a week's worth of content that you could get done in half an hour. It's such a simple solution, right, to something that I find the biggest barrier to entry in this space. So many people not getting content done because they've got their excuse of, oh, I don't have the right setup. No, it's a lie. Of course you've got the right setup. You're just lazy. You don't want to make the right setup, right? Or, oh, I don't know. I don't have enough money for the kit. Bullshit. You've got a phone in your pocket. That's all you need, right? People, you don't need big lights and a studio with soundproofing and like an up and down desk and a whole microphone. You do not need it, especially if you're creating content that's just for social media. Now, what I do is I help coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses create unbelievable content for Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, so that it attracts the right people to them, right? I essentially get you going live so people start clicking on your business. It's none of this going out and trying to find people and like, hey, come and look at me, come and do. You just put out what you know is your valuable assets, which is your knowledge, your expertise. You share that with the world through video and people start to come to you. Like I would love to show you some of the assets that I've got on, literally, I've got some students I'm working with at the moment. And I will tell you the story about one of them who recently posted her first reel, right? And it has taken a few weeks to kind of get around the idea of what to post and how to post and who to post to and all that sort of stuff. But she posted her first reel. She got 4,000% increase in her reach from one video. 4,000% reach. And what we're talking about here is she had something like 300 followers, right? And of that video, it reached 175 of her original followers, and it hit almost 2,000 people that weren't following her from before that. This is the power of video, right? Now, if anybody's listening to this and thinking to yourself, I need to start doing video, but I just don't have the time, I just don't have the energy, I don't have the resources, I'm going to call bullshit on that again, because you do have the time, the resources. If you're sitting here watching this video, we've been going for 10 minutes. You could have recorded 2 bits of content in that time. Now, I know that it sounds simple, and I know that it sounds kind of like, no, too good to be true, but it's not, because I have been doing this for a long time. And even before this, when I spent most of my days in front of a camera as a male model and a presenter, right? Those are big cameras, and but even those are sometimes set up in minutes, right? When you know what you're looking for and you know how to position yourself on camera and you know how to speak to your audience, those things combined create an unbelievable force that allows you to be able to just attract the right customers into your business. So guys, I hope this has helped today. I'd love I've seen some chats. Richard, how you doing? Nice to see you there. Been there, done it, got the t-shirt, smiles. All right, so love that. Fantastic. Yeah, look, a one-click studio, for those that know about it, is a really powerful tool. And what I really love about having a one-click studio is that I don't have to think about it. What I now think about is what I'm going to say to my customers, right? And I'm going to give you some insight into what goes on in my head, right? I don't think about what my camera, literally, I've got 3 positions in my office. I've got one on my desk here that gives me my little plant in the background. I've got one on my windowsill, which gives me a bit more light. And I've got one behind my computer here, which is on another tripod that stays completely stationary. That's it. They're my positions. So depending on what I want to do, I put it in the various places, okay? But then what's really cool is if I get some inspiration, I'll be flicking through Instagram, or I'll see something or I hear something, I'm like, oh, that'd be a great bit of content. I can jump straight on and I can just press go and I can start recording, right? And that's what's really, really powerful about this. So if anyone's interested in learning a little bit more about how you can get a one-click studio going in your home or even in your office or wherever you decide to do your content, right? Drop me a message, drop me a DM, drop me an email. My email's at the bottom there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put my email in here, because I'm here to help you guys become better at get better at doing your video content, right? Video content is one of the most powerful ways to communicate with your audience. It's, to give you some stats, 96% of people last year started watching more videos as a result of not just the pandemic, but because everything is going online, right? 64% of those people buy products directly as a result of watching a video. 64%, 2/3 of people buying a product because they've seen a video on it. You don't have to go far to look down a high street. Sadly, they're all closing up. But where's everything going? Online. What's everything doing? Going viral, going video based, right? The way that I would guarantee that most people watching this or listening to this have not seen more than 5 or 6 people in the last year, right? Where have you done most of your business? Online. So in order to be able to stand above the crowd and be able to do the business you used to be able to do in person, now you need to do it online. You need to be able to show up online in the right way. And what I do at Live and Clicking is I help people not just find the confidence to show up on camera, but I also help them raise their profile, raise their performance, and ultimately raise their profits as a result to drive traffic, leads, and sales to their business organically, right? We don't use any advertising in this business. All my advertising comes from me, because when you are the face of your brand, you become so much more powerful at delivering your message. And that's what this is all about. Guys, this has been an amazing session this morning. I've really enjoyed getting excited about this. Again, if you want to speak to me about a one-click studio or anything about going live and using video marketing in their business, please let me know. My email is in the chat. But otherwise, thanks for everyone for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you all next week at the same time. Peace out.